was always there to help with his promises kept. I never understood the depth till I felt the effects. Yep. Ain't no weapon formed against me to convince me that God ain't with me already. Ain't fallen to any of these monsters, I conquered plenty. God knows what I've been through, what it did to my mental. Till I got this instrumental, then a microphone I can vent to. Thinking these issues on my chest to rest. And who oppose me, listen up closely for those who know me. This here's my testimony, got some blessings on me. I'm surviving deep in the trenches, for the reapers reaches just inches, but I keep on weaving this clinches. God as my witness, they said I'd be gone a long time ago. Come from the bottom and label the problem, but know that I was blinded though. Through these chronicles until I was found, was down like dominoes. Left with the impossible, letting it go ain't optional. Finding no solution, just an illusion to my optical. Unforsaken, I ain't waiting, I'm breaking obstacles. So I'ma go and fade away. Wait for the day we face to face, standing in front of the gates to feel the embrace of God's amazing grace.
When you feel the pain at night, and you're feeling so ashamed, ask the Lord for grace, until you see the change. When you feel the pain at night, and you're feeling so ashamed, ask the Lord for grace, until you see the change.
As I walk through the valley of death, He never left me by myself. He was guiding my steps. He was always there to help with His promises kept. I never understood the depth till I felt the effects. Yep. As I walk through the valley of death, He never left me by myself. He was guiding my steps. He was always there to help with His promises kept. I never understood the depth till I felt the effects. Yep.
Hi, welcome to another exciting episode of the Andre The Beast Crayton Show 2025. You see who's in the house right now. So let me tell you, for those that don't know, this is, and you heard it from here first, this is the next R&B group of the year in the house. I'm putting it out there right now. Fuck putting the name in the hat, guys. We know where that went.
Yes, sir.
But now this is the year to show the world what Indiana Kneecap produces. I'd like to welcome to the show the one, the only, Indiana's own Forecast.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, what a journey you guys have had. Before we get started, let's start on this side and introduce and keep going around.
Yeah, what's going on, world? It's Shaq Diesel.
What's happening, y'all? It's CJ, baby.
What's happening, everybody? It's Al Wayne.
And what's going on? The newest member of Forecast is Nico Vines.
Oh my God, I'm privileged. I don't even know what to say. We're sitting back and we're enjoying the day. But let's start right here with my boy Al. What was the vision here with Forecast? I mean, you guys have clearly blew up overnight. You know, CJ is kicking ass. You got Nico and we got Baby Shaq over there. How did all this come about?
All right, so back in my younger years, I always had a vision of I always wanted to be in an R&B group. I was, a huge fan of Jodeci, huge fan of Drew Hill, huge fan of 112. I can name them all, Boys and Men, all of them.
Yeah.
And it was always a dream of mine, and it was always a goal of mine. And when I had joined my my father's band called the Latest Forecast Band,
Right.
He turned it over to me. I was calling CJ, trying to see if he was available. He officially became available. And then me and him was in the Latest Forecast Band. And then Shaq Diesel came along. And then we turned it into an R&B group.
Right.
And then Nico came along here recently.
Man, that's crazy.
And now the vision is complete. This is what
when you saw, clearly you saw the vision, and this goes to show what we talked about last time you guys were here, and we talked about that generational wealth. It's touching to me to see that your father handed you over his vision, and you clearly saw even a bigger vision. What was the reason to get the individuals that you got? What made you come after CJ? What made you come after Shaq, and then what made you bring Nico in?
Me and CJ, we have a long history. His brother is my best friend, so I've watched CJ in church because I used to go to church with them, and I seen the talent that he had, and I knew that not too many people knew about him. Probably all the people from Warren Central. I'm gonna give a little shout out to Warren Central. Dub C. The people from Warren probably knew but I definitely knew, and I just couldn't wait to have him.
Right.
And now he's here.
When
now
you brought the
Shaq's here
idea
now.
to him, what was he like? Because you guys were young at that time, right?
He was on board, but he just had to become available.
Right, I got you. Damn, he was that popular?
He was a pretty popular.
Were you
guy.
that popular?
Man, no, honestly, because it ties in with it. Me and Nico had a group, and we were East 97 at the time.
Okay.
4TG actually.
Well, yeah, 4TG, and Diesel was a part of 4TG as well.
Oh
So, we was kind of just, doing our thing. And then shout out to JoJo, right? Joe Brewer, he was a part of that too as well. And we were doing our thing, man. And it just so happened that, some stuff went down, and then we did East 97. Then it goes back to bro, you know what I mean? I hit him up because they had a show at OB's. And I was like, hey man, I said, do you mind if, I come up there and just sit in and just sing a song or two with you?
Right.
He was like, yeah, of course. So we met up, sung with it, what do we sing? Pretty Brown Eyes. Yes.
Yeah.
But what's crazy
is
is,
that Mink Edition?
yeah, Mink Edition. But what's crazy is he asked me, he's like, man, what songs you want to sing? I said, either Come and Talk to Me or Pretty Brown Eyes.
Right.
I was under the impression, if you look at the video, I have the video. If you look at the video, I thought we was doing Come and Talk to Me. The band came in and said, dun dun dun. I looked back at him like, oh, what happened? But man, we rocked it, man. And I remember hitting him up that night. And I was just, man, thanking him, telling him, man, thank you for the opportunity. You know what I mean? It was a blast. And then that next morning, he offered me, to come in, man. And it was locked in ever since then, man.
But I had already knew that I was gonna bring you in, man.
My dog.
I just wanted to see, I just wanted to see it, you know.
My dog.
Let's talk about the baby boy over there. Let's talk about baby boy. How did you come in all this?
Making a long story short, CJ told me to come to one of the shows at Epic that they did.
Right.
And my auntie at the time, she was like, "Oh yeah, this my boyfriend's group. It's my fiance's group." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I'm like, "Well, I'm here supporting my brother, CJ."
Right.
She's like, "Yeah, okay, CJ." And then come to find out at the end of the show, I'm like, "Hey man, you my uncle." It's like, so Al was like, and then like CJ was like, "Hey man, Shaq can sing. He can really sing." So I came to one rehearsal, and he's like, "Nah, he on probation, 30 days, or whatever." But
That's right.
I know, like I did my thing at rehearsal. He was just like,
Forget the 30-day probation.
But you still not in yet. You're not official.
Yeah.
I'm like, so we did our first show, and he was like, "Oh yeah, he's official." Like,
I had to see it. I had to see it.
so here I am. That's my uncle right there, and then CJ. He's always been my day one best friend since high school. So
Bro,
it's always a family thing.
Well, so it's funny you said it's always a family thing, and I feel like I'm part of you guys, man. Because I remember when you guys came in here, I saw y'all. You started, man, and I'm probably one of your biggest fans. I know where you guys are about to go. We're gonna get to you in a minute, Nico. I haven't forgot about you. You're the new guy, so you gotta wait your turn for a minute. I ain't forgot about you. But let's give credit to where credit is due. Meecap produces some great guys, a great talent with the Meecap brand, and you guys are definitely one of many on that brand. But let's give hats off to CJ right here. You performing with Babyface, Indiana, the legend here.
Yes, sir.
How was that like for you, man, to get blessed? Let's call it what it is, by one of the greatest. You weren't even born. I was rolling down the street with Babyface.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
You got that whip appeal. Now you coming on, and he's blessed you to go on tour with him. What was that like?
Man, honestly, all praises to God for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's one of those situations where, man, as the big bro said, as a kid, I've always just wanted to do music, and I've always wanted to just perform, man, and just inspire people to want to follow their dreams and follow what they believe in, and honestly, if it wasn't for Uncle Sid, you said give credit where it's due, man. Yeah. Uncle Sid literally single-handedly made that happen, man. And it was one of those situations where, like, a little quick story behind it, it was random, man, because I was chilling at home, and it was like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, getting my kids ready for school, and my son had a doctor's appointment that I had to take him to. Man, so Unc called me. He was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, nothing. Getting ready to take my son to his doctor's appointment."
He don't sound like that. This is Sid. What are you doing?
Yeah. Look, I don't want him to take the belt off.
That's the best impersonation I've heard so far.
You hear me? Yeah, but no, man, he had called and he was just like, listen, I need you to send me a couple certain things, like some photo shots and some videos of you singing X, Y, and Z. And I was like, for what? He was like, don't ask questions. Just send them. Yeah. So, I sent it to him, you know what I mean? And he called me back probably like 35 minutes later, and I was at my son's appointment. And, I told him I'd call him back. He said, no, I need you to answer now. So I answered the phone, and he was like, listen, so there's an opportunity where a certain individual that was a part of KBE had just some things going on that he had to take care of, and he was going to miss a couple shows. So, Boss, we had the opportunity of opening up for him in Stockbridge. Mm-hmm. So Boss was kind of like, well, hey, since I gave, you guys the opportunity to open up, let me go ahead and get the favor back and just borrow CJ, just for these 2 shows. So orchestrated that.
He did a straight up Godfather movie.
Man. And then they flew me out that next day, like literally that next morning, to Altamore, Alabama. And I saw the show there, and then I learned the choreography there. And then we had a show. They had a show in I want to say it was Raleigh, North Carolina. Thank you, brother. Down there. And so then, I got a chance to meet him, talk to him a little bit, talk to the guys. And then that next day, Uncle called me and said, hey, we're going to fly you out to LA for a week so you can learn the choreography, get everything situated. Man, learned the choreography, did all that, and did the first 2 shows. And then after the 2 shows, mind you, I was only supposed to do, the 2 shows, and then I was done. Mm-hmm. Man, God worked it out in a way where he literally made a spot for me. And called Sid and said, hey, can I keep him? You know what I mean? He did such a good job. He fits the build of it. And ever since then, it's been smooth sailing, man. It's been one of those feelings where, like, every single time, like, I walk through an airport, or every single time I get to the hotel, and honestly, God is my witness, I get chills. And it's just like, this is what I dreamed of. Yeah. This is what, like, as a kid, I would stay up all night watching Michael Jackson, Jodeci, Luther Vandross, of course, right, and Babyface videos, honestly, and we'll watch it and be like, this is what I wanted to do. Me and Nico would do that. When we was doing our group, watching these people that we wanted to follow and emulate, and just, have the career that they had, and to be able to learn from him, and to be able to kind of see how he, constructs his shows and how he performs and stuff, that gives me an opportunity to be able to come back with my brothers and be like, hey, well, maybe we should do it this way, or maybe we should do it that way, because that will take our show to the whole next level, because you're learning from the GOAT. You know what I mean? Right. So, man, in all, it is such a blessing that I will never take for granted.
Congratulations on that, man.
Thank you.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
Let me ask either Wayne or Shaq can answer this question. You had to revamp yourselves now because he's been blessed with going on to the Help with Baby, but he's still part of the group. How do you transition your idea, because you didn't lose him? He's advanced, but the show still has to go on. What did you guys do? How did you guys keep everything together?
We didn't have to revamp anything.
Really?
We just work around the schedule that we have. If he's out, we don't necessarily do performances. Now, granted, there will be a time where we do shows without CJ. But like the show still goes on. There's no replacing that man. Right. He's part of the group. You know what I mean? He's not going anywhere, and neither one of these 2 guys are going anywhere.
Right. This is the forecast core right here.
That's right.
Like, this is what you gonna see. So if we not on stage together, we ain't gonna do it.
Right. Let me ask you guys a question. I ain't forgot about you, Nico.
You good, man?
Okay, I ain't forgot about you. Let me ask you guys a question. When he got offered the opportunity to go there, I know you guys are more than just, entertainers. You guys are family, your core. What was that like when he shared the information with you guys? What was that like for you guys?
Tears of joy.
Yeah, we were ecstatic.
Tears of joy. That's my brother.
It literally means that he's doing something that he's been trying to do his whole life. And, saying, why wouldn't we be happy for it? Like he said, that's our brother, man. Absolutely. We love him. And it actually helps us in return.
Yeah.
For real.
Let me put this out there. Y'all jokers are dressed like crazy, man. Look, I'm feeling bad. I'm underdressed, man, for real. Man, y'all.
We didn't even discuss it. We just did it.
It's the go-to.
let's go to the quiet storm over in the corner. Let's go to Mr. Nico. Naturally, Nico, you got some bond with these guys. What was it like for you to get the opportunity, not only an opportunity, but to actually be an official member of one of the best, I'm gonna call it like it is, one of the best young R&B talents to grace this planet?
Yeah, man. Like I think I'm a pretty humble guy. I come from pretty humble beginnings. So like the way that he feels about being able to join Babyface, that's how it was looking at Forecast. I was out in Florida, you know, kind of doing my own thing. I was kind of in and out of music, dealing with, you know, life stuff. And CJ hit me up. He was doing a show with Babyface already. And I was like, this is one of the moments where God is like, you either go this way or you go this way.
Right.
But go this way. And I was like, okay, cool. So I came out, I did a show, which was kind of like an audition, kind of like a vetting process for Unc. And, you know, he started giving me the rundown of what it was like to, you know, be in Forecast, what the expectations were. And, you know, like a day later, it kind of sunk in. I'm like, oh, dang, I'm in Forecast now. So, yeah.
What was the expectations? Because, you know, clearly you've been following their career.
Yeah.
You know, so what did Sid tell you the expectations were for you when you actually become an official member?
Yeah, no, just professionalism. Like, this is not a group of guys just kind of doing their hobby together and, you know, going to dive bars every now and then. And no disrespect to anybody doing that or anything. Just, you know, he let me know the difference between what that is and what Forecast is and what Forecast is building towards. Mm-hmm. And he let me know coming into it that if I got to take it serious physically, mentally, you know, emotionally, and spiritually, like it's either you're coming in to join this group that I'm putting my energy behind, I'm putting my time behind, that they're putting they're all behind, and you're gonna add to that, or you need to keep it pushing. Mm-hmm. And he was flat about it, and I was just like, well, I mean, hey, I'm looking at these guys like they the Avengers. I'm Spider-Man. Let me in this thing. Let me in it right now because I'm ready. So yeah, no, it was
So what did you have to change, and what do you think that they saw in you that they brought you on board with them?
I know I definitely had to change the mentality of growing up. I let too many things convince me, like when I was doing music with CJ and things like that, that because I wasn't where people expected me to be financially or you know, look wise, how I'm able to dress and the things I'm able to do, that I wasn't where I needed to be in the music. And so I definitely need to change that mentality and understand that everything has a beginning and everything has an end. And if you don't put your foot in the beginning because you're scared of what it looks like to everybody else, you'll never make it there. And so physically I had to change because, you know, you gotta look good to be an R&B singer. And I was in Florida being lazy because you can go to the beach looking however you want to look in Florida, you know.
Right.
So yeah, no. So I had to get, you know, my mental, my physical together, and, you know, just start getting on the mentality of, okay, I'm not about to just be singing. I'm not about to just be having fun. I'm about to put myself in a position to be able to build a career out of this, a profession. I'm becoming a professional entertainer. So yeah, I switched from some guy who likes to make music to an entertainer, and it's been a fun and enlightening process spiritually and, you know, physically.
Now you said you was in Florida. What part of Florida?
Orlando. I kind of stayed a little bit everywhere in like the central part. Okay. But yeah, Orlando, that Disney area up there was where I was at mostly.
So, but you have family, correct?
Yeah. I have family. Well, I'm from Indianapolis.
Okay.
So yeah, so I moved to Florida, and it was kind of just, you know, me and, you know, my close ones, and then kind of in the process, more family ended up coming out, but, you know, ultimately, you know, we ended up back here so I could do what I got to do with the guys. Okay,
so you clearly relocated back to make sure that they know you're going to be serious, that you're serious about this opportunity.
For sure. As soon as Unc told me, like, yeah, so you're going to have to start making some life changes, you know, I started putting the wheels in motion to be able to make.
What was the biggest life change for you now? Because one minute you're doing something else, and these guys already, you know, it's all aboard. They're already moving. What was the biggest three things that you had to do?
Well, to be completely candid, you know, I had to get myself out of the slump I was kind of in. I wasn't really out in Florida doing anything so like had to put myself in the mentality and the physicality of being able to take steps toward doing what I need to do, which was the first step was I needed to move out here. And then once moving out here, I needed to make sure I was going to be able to provide for myself, because, you know, you can't do this with the idea of, oh, I'm going to put a song out and have $1 million the next week. So, you know, I had to be able to provide for myself. And then, you know, building bonds with these guys, like, you know, it's been a process with that as I'm integrating back into Indianapolis, but I'm trying to, you know, find ways to connect with Al and Shaq in like deeper ways than I was able to before. Because me and CJ, we go way back. Like that was probably like my only friend like for a long time. And so yeah, so
who did you gravitate to the most with the opportunity, you know, because now you got to bond with 3 individuals who basically they're a few steps ahead of the game with you. How did you manage to, who did you gravitate to the most, and what was some of the things that, let's get candid, what were some of the things that you were really afraid of? You're going into a situation to where these guys they're full steam ahead. Yeah. And you don't want to be the missing link or the handicap to their success, to them not succeeding.
Got you. Yeah, no, that you kind of hit it right there.
Am I putting you on the spot?
No. I'm ready to be candid. If you willing to listen, I got you. So like they basically that was it though. I didn't want to come in and be the detriment. I didn't want to come in and it be like, well, why is he here though? And so like I'm now in the position where like I'm hyper scrutinizing everything that I'm doing with them, from like the way that I'm looking to the things that I'm doing on stage. Like every mistake, I'm like, okay, I gotta clean that up. I gotta tighten that up, because that's not a mistake you can make when you in forecast. That's not a thing you can do. That's not a step you can miss. And so like that's how I'm treating these guys. Like you asked who I gravitated the most. I had to say Al Wayne, because his testimony and his story of, you know, where he came from and where he's at now and the things that he's been through, I kind of relate to that really heavily, and I relate to it on like a really deep level. So when he told me like, you know, this is a way that you can do what you need to do to get where you need to be, he'll tell you, like, I was hitting him up every day, like, is this the exact step I need to take? Is this exactly what I need to do right here? And he's like, bro, like, you're good. Like, eat those peanuts. You will lose weight regardless. I'm like, all right, cool. he's like, come on now.
Peanuts.
Like, that's our quote to each other. Like, bro, eat those snacks. You will survive. I promise you. Forecast. We love you. You here. It's yours. You working. We see it. Stop calling me about what snacks you can eat. Like, it's all like, okay, cool. Like, yeah. So, you know, obviously, I'm still building bonds, deeper bonds, even with me and CJ. Because when I was out in Florida, you know, we weren't able to be as close as we were back in the day. And so, you know, I'm still working on building the bonds and making everything stronger between all of us. But
do you feel a lot of pressure on you? Let's be real. I mean, when you're on stage, do you feel pressure? Do you find yourself at times when you're on the stage like a lot of pressure, because you're still learning the craft, you're still understanding, you know, what they're trying to create, but let's get real, you're still the new kid on the block.
Yeah, no, I feel that pressure, but I feel like it's the diamond making kind. I don't feel like it's the soul crumbling or the detrimental kind that would make me a non-factor or make me the thing that is holding us back. So I feel like the pressure I feel is going to ultimately put me in a position where I am a better entertainer than I even thought I could be, because of how good these guys are and the expectation of being just as good and being on that level of being able to get up there and do what Forecast does.
Wayne, what's your take on it? You're making them eat peanuts and
first
high
of all,
protein amino acids. I know what you're doing to them, man.
Yeah.
Are you making all of them do it?
Nah, not all of them. I should, but no. Like, really shout out to you, Nico, because like you really put in that hard work. You know what I mean? I remember, you know, texting you and taking pictures of my meals and things like that, you know what I'm saying, to try to make sure that, you know, we were looking good on stage, because I had a, you know, whole weight loss journey and making sure that my body's right, you know what I'm saying, make sure I had enough energy to, you know, be on stage and perform with these two guys, especially him. And yeah, man, it was needed, and and my hats are off to you. Everything he says is 100% correct, man. I'm trying to I try to build a bond with each and every one of these guys or whatnot because I love them dearly. You know, they're my brothers. And
what's your take on all three of these guys?
Well, where do you want me to start?
Let's start with Baby Boy. I like Baby Boy. He's always laid back.
All right, so
I like Shaq. He's just laid back and
Shaq's the most loyal. He's always there.
Yeah,
always there to if you need anything, that's just who he is. You know, he's a really genuine, a loving guy. He gets on my nerves the most.
Really,
he does. Me and him, we go back and forth, but it's all in love.
Oh no,
and he loves it. He loves it. He's just there like me and him would be joning on each other all the time,
right.
and he'd get a kick out. I think we're entertaining,
man.
Yeah,
man.
With CJ, man, CJ has a heart of gold. He'll pray for you. He'll come when you need him. He's a leader in Forecast. Right. I might be the leader, but he is a leader in Forecast. Right. If anything was to happen to me,
he could take it over.
He'd take it over just like that. And I wouldn't turn over in my grave. I'm just kidding. But yeah, CJ, he's like the energy of the group. Like without him, I don't think we could do this.
Let me ask you guys a question. You added Nico to your group. How is that? What's the difference? I heard the music, and I'm gonna tell you one song I love, which we're gonna talk about. You guys did with 12, Grace.
Oh yeah,
Grace. Yeah.
Oh my God,
it's one of my favorites.
Dude, totally blew my mind. He was just here, and I mean that song was so impactful. And I heard you guys actually redone it. You actually rewrote some of the words to make it more impactful.
Yeah, we did. At first, Grace was given a sample, and it had somebody, a choir singing on it or whatever.
Are you crying? Hold on. Did we say something to bring it to this side?
I ain't crying.
Go ahead.
We love you, CJ. We love you, man. For real, we love you, dude. CJ is definitely our guardian. He keeps us level headed. Like
for real,
we all angry. He just gonna start praying.
Really?
Like let's stop what we doing.
He'll talk you down.
Let's stop. Like just be quiet, and then you'll hear the silence, and he'll start praying.
Silence is golden.
Like he
break him down.
Hey, I ain't gonna play. They call me Diesel for a reason, but I'm very hot headed. Like that's what I said. I'm like everybody say that I'm loyal and everything, but I'm not. I'm the one. So that's like I'm proud of myself because I'm changing for the group for Forecast. Like my brothers know, like they know, but it's been a change for me as a man. So yeah.
Now I'm gonna ask this question. I'm gonna ask this question. Let's go back to that song Grace, because I believe you featured Nico on this as well, right? Was he part of this Grace song?
Actually, we recorded this before Nico came in.
Yeah, that was Take a Chance.
Yeah, Take a Chance on Romance Lover Edition is the one.
That's the one.
Nico added the flavor to.
Who came up with that song, and what was the difference that you guys feel with now his voice being added into your music collection?
Man, honestly, me personally, because of course we're all, four individuals that have different opinions and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I can say for all of us, he brought a whole different dynamic to that song, man. Like the way, and I've always said this, the way that he constructs his words and the way that his pen is crazy. That man is a phenomenal songwriter. Ever since we were kids,
really, he
was writing songs. Like honestly, just as a prime example, like man, we were 16, no, not 16, we about 17, 18. This man's writing songs about intoxication and loving on your woman, but honestly, when you hear it and when you hear the words, it don't sound like it's coming from a 16, 17-year-old. Really? It sounds like it's coming from a grown man.
Right.
So him coming a part of it, it just took it to another level, man, in my personal opinion. And I feel like his dynamic and especially his voice and how his cadences was going crazy in it, man. Like
Yeah.
Don't
make him cry.
No, man, it's crazy, man. Here we go. Look, but no, man, honestly, it's phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
When you wrote the song "Take a Chance on Romance," which I love that song, there's no song that you guys have put out so far that maybe I'm just being biased, that you can't relate to. You can hear the craft in it by listening to the words. Okay, so you write "Take a Chance on Romance." Where did that come from? Where did that whole idea come from?
Man, really, Unc brought that to us. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Sid and Uncle Jams, and then Anthony Bush, out of Atlanta.
Nutbush?
Nutbush, yeah, but he goes by Anthony Bush now. They kind of came up with the concept of it, man, and Unc came up to us and was like, hey, I'm gonna give you guys free reign to write your verses, you know what I mean, and come up with your verses. When we go down to Atlanta, we'll do it. But what's crazy about it, and I always say it because it's an amazing thing, man. But Al Wayne wrote three different verses.
What?
Yeah,
for each one of you guys.
No, for him, his verse alone.
Just for me.
He
Really?
wrote 3 different verses, and the thing is, all of them were fire. Me speaking by me. All of them were fire. All of them were smacking. But the one that he chose, man, it's just, again, each verse, and even when he comes in with it, he can explain it better because the way that he explains it is crazy.
Do the explaining. Do the explaining.
Go ahead,
like
bro.
when we come in for the bridge, it's like Shaq takes the song and he's like, we already are aiming higher and higher, right? With each hook and with each ending part. And when CJ ends with that high note, it's like Shaq takes us into the clouds and we all on this cloud cruise ship just going with angels just singing harmonies behind us, and we all just chilling in the togas, like it's like an angelic experience when I hear it in the headphones, on full blast, or when I'm driving and what do we have? Ooh. I'm like, oh my god, this part every time give me chills.
Al, you had 3 parts. Why did you do 3 parts, and why did you pick the part that you picked?
So the 3 parts that I picked, it was 2 verses and the hook, right? The bridge. Thank you. I picked it. I picked the one that I picked because it sound more better as the beginning of a song. Because when I wrote it as the first verse, second verse, bridge. So I wrote a whole Take a Chance on Romance, first verse, second verse, bridge. I wrote that. Mm-hmm. But because each one of us was putting our own verse on it, I had to choose if I want to go first, second, I chose to go first. So I chose that one. And then his verse, killer, especially that high note. I'm jealous.
Yeah, I know. Look,
I can't do it though.
Look, Al. Anytime it come on that high note, I'd be like,
Yeah, that part is crazy.
yeah, I can't go that high, but I'd be like, damn.
But then when Nico brought his verse, I remember us trying to figure out where are we gonna put his verse at? Where are we gonna put his verse at? And then we figured it out. But man, like my brother said, man, the way he writes, he's the writer of the group now.
Really?
He's the writer of the
Y'all
group.
don't give him that responsibility?
No, seriously.
Oh.
Dead serious. Yes.
Wow, that's a lot of confidence in you, man.
Hey,
Got a
man,
writer
I
and a
appreciate it.
choreographer.
I really do, right? That's crazy.
Where do you get your ideas from to write? I mean, is it more experience? When you're writing a song, where are you getting these ideas from? And especially now, because you got to consider you're a team now. So your writing skills have to really go beyond just your emotional intake. How are you going to do that?
Yeah, no, I really don't ever really write from an emotional point unless I'm just really deep in my feelings.
Were you deep in your feelings when you was doing that track?
Yeah.
Because I heard your lyrics.
Nah, I was hungry. I wanted to make sure I put something that stuck and was really, and when Unc heard it, he was like, oh yeah. And when the guys heard it, they were like, oh yeah. So I'm thinking I want that punch, I want that fire, I want them vocals. And so I just kind of put it in the pot and stirred it up, and I was like, okay, this is how I'm gonna lay that out. And then when it goes into the ad libs, it's like, okay, I remember a note I got back in the day, which is that you're supposed to be supporting what's being said in the hook. You're not supposed to be overpowering it. So I'm like, okay, so how do I punch and not do that at the same time? And so then I break it down. I'm like, okay, so I'm just going to feed off of what they're saying and cry behind them. So that's kind of how I do it. Like I hear the melody and I just attach the words that pop into my head to the specific points in the melody that I'm hearing. And so when writing for other people, like when with CJ back in the day when we would write songs together, it would just be more about knowing exactly how his voice sounds and how it bends around certain like frequencies and melodies, and then attaching the words that pop into my head, like them bracelets, like that's exactly what I'm doing with the words. I'm like, and that's my bad. That's exactly how it goes. I hate explaining it because I feel like I sound crazy, but that's how it works.
What's the difference between all of you guys' writing styles that you felt confident to just say we're going to hand you the keys?
I feel like Nico has a very versatile style of writing, and it's very flavorful. Like he keeps it modern, and like the cadences he uses, like CJ said, you would never think like Al Smooth singer. Obviously, you tell in the first verse, he comes in like the gives you the hip hop type of modern R&B verse, and then CJ's just crooning high window notes and all that, and then you have a smooth classic bridge, and that's what you get from me is a smooth classic bridge. So everybody's giving they versatile and flavor in this one song. So here you go.
And honestly, too, man, me personally, really, he hit the nail on the coffin. Like the way that he writes is so versatile. It's like you got old school, new school, modern, and he can write anything. It's not just R&B that he can write. He can write pop. He can probably write country if he really wanted to. He can write gospel. You know what I'm saying? Right. He's just so versatile with it because like all of our writing like differences, we all can write. You know what I mean? We all have the ability to write. Like, but me personally, I know my writing skills it's just based out of the 90s because I'm a 90s guy. Right. Like I just love the 90 vibe music, but the period in time that we're in right now, sometimes that doesn't transcend well. Right. So when you have somebody like Nico Vines, who is so versatile that he can put a little 90s vibe in it, but like he said with the cadences, make it sound like a 2026, 2027 futuristic song. You know what I mean? He has to do it. And like Al Wayne said, like the way that he brings and what he brings to, you know what I mean, the writing ability and the writing table, man, that man can write so many hits, man. Why do you
think Al, this is a question for you because this is your baby coming to life. Why do you think it's so hard for young groups, young artists to get the level of attention that you guys have gotten?
They don't take themselves seriously. When you're doing this thing, we sacrifice a lot. There's things that happen in our lives, behind closed doors that nobody else sees. And with those things that happen, we take ourselves real seriously when it comes to this. I remember someone told me that this is just a hobby for you, and it stuck with me up until this day. And a lot of cats, they'll hear that and then just be like, okay, I feel defeated. I don't want to do this anymore. Or if someone gives you constructive criticism, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to do this anymore. You know what I'm saying, you're downing yourself or you're doubting yourself. And then also just, putting yourself out there. Don't be scared to put yourself out there. With the social medias and things like that, get in front of that camera, practice on that. That's something I still need to work on. You know what I mean? Like really putting yourself out there and be comfortable with yourself and your own skin and who you are.
What are you guys mostly afraid of? Let's start with Baby. Go, Baby. We get the mic. What are you guys really, truthfully, transparently, mostly afraid of? Give me 3 things.
One thing that I'm afraid of is failing, really. Like, this forecast thing is a lifelong running thing to me. Like I said it last time, my dad died the first show we had, and I was like, I take this way more serious now. Like Like my best friend died like the day, and they commended me for keep going. Like I'm gonna keep going. Yes, I am gonna keep going. Life gonna get hard. We gonna go through some storms, but I'm not gonna give up on y'all. So if we fail, that's definitely the most heartbreaking thing to me. Like if we fail, that will be heartbreaking for me.
He said 3. Oh, so it's okay. So we say 1 apiece. Okay, all right, gotcha. I wouldn't want to say it's a fear that I have, but it's more of I don't want to disappoint my children.
Oh, deep.
And what I mean by I don't want to and it ties into the music thing, because, and I talked to the guys about it. You know what I'm saying? I want my children to be able to grow up and say, my daddy followed his dreams and my daddy made it happen. My daddy put God first and he followed God throughout the whole time and he trusted God's plan. And if my daddy can do it, I can do it. Because I want to make generational wealth for my children, right? I want my children to be able to grow up and look at their daddy and say, hey, I don't care what you tell me. If I can't follow my dreams, my daddy followed his dreams and it happened for him. So if it happened for him, I can do the same thing. And I just want my children to know that everything that I'm doing is for them. Because like he said, man, we sacrifice so much time away from family, away from children, away from just normal day things that we do with our kids and our families and stuff like that. And I just want my children to grow up and say, even though daddy was around, but daddy had to, possibly not be here for this or be here for that, he was doing something that's making a better future for us. And I want them to understand that everything that I do is for them. So it's not a fear, but my biggest thing is I don't want to disappoint my children.
That's deep. Nico, take it.
Yeah, no. My biggest fear is just that we'll reach the point that we want to reach, and the devil is going to push and push and push, and he's gonna find that crack, and that the only defense against that is staying true to yourself and staying firm within who you are as a person. But that's always something I'm looking out for. I never want to be in a position where I'm looking at everything in front of me, looking at myself in the mirror going, who the heck is this? Mm-hmm. What the heck happened here? And what the heck am I doing? And, we see in the movies and we see on all the documentaries and stuff like that exactly where it causes that and how it happens and how even the ones who say that'll never be me end up there. And so it's like, I don't want us to get where we going, where I see this going, and then that's when we get attacked our hardest, and then those attacks hold weight, because that would just be crushing.
It's you, baby.
My biggest fear is not remembering who Forecast is, legacy. I don't want after we all go and pass away, or after we're done with our journey, I want Forecast to be remembered. And that's my biggest fear, is it's not being remembered, or nobody knows who we are.
Oh, they don't know who you are. Like I said, we already put out in the universe. The R&B Artist of the Year award goes to Indiana's Own Forecast. It's already out there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir. Speaking into existence.
Yeah. Before we wrap up, you guys mentioned something that's very crucial, and I like what you said, and that's family and sacrifice, and then you guys have done that. Let's start with Nico. How do you keep all that together, and how supportive is your family? What does your family tell you? That's the question for you guys. What does your family tell you about your journey?
Just don't forget them. I just the way I keep it together is I have to keep constantly reminding myself that it's not about this part of it. It's about what I'm going for, what I'm trying to achieve, and what I want to see at the end of it. And my family, they're just like, as long as you're not a hobo delusional thinking that you singing, but really you're standing in the middle of the street looking crazy, go for it. We believe in you. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, we can do that. I can make that happen.
Okay, Shaq, go ahead.
What my family says, basically to always keep God first. My mom always tells me to keep God first, and most supportive people, they always come to the shows and be like, "Oh, y'all doing good, keep it up, whatever. We love y'all." I love hearing that, like, people saying that they love us and they love the show, like that's supporting to me. Like you come out and see the show and you tell me what's your favorite part of the show, that's support. I love that.
Right.
So I just like seeing the most supportive people, like, you know, telling me that how good we doing and stuff like that.
Sound like a winner. Mr. Everything.
No, Mr. Everything.
Mr. Everything. Got your mic now.
Man, me personally, my family is very supportive, man. My family loves us. I will say though, the biggest thing, especially my father tells me all the time about us, is to not allow outside sources to get in the camp.
Yeah.
Simple. You know what I mean? Because like Nico hit, there's times where you see documentaries and, you know, unsungs about R&B groups where somebody gets big-headed, right? Yeah. Because you got people in this corner talking to this person thinking that they're bigger than the group. Man, no, it's a team effort. You know?
Can you imagine where Drew Hill would be right now?
Man.
Had they had that insight, what you just said?
Man. And that's the thing. That's what makes us different, and that's what makes us stand out, because it's like our chemistry is real. You can feel it. You can see it on stage, man. Even at the show yesterday, there was moments I'm on stage looking to my left and right.
I missed that show yesterday.
Man, there was moments I'm looking to my left and looking to my right. I see him smiling the way he's smiling now. He cheesing the way he cheesing now. Diesel with the smooth, silkness right now, you know. And I'm just looking like, just honestly, thank you, God. That's all I can say, because it's like we're not where we want to be. But this is just the beginning, you know what I mean? And this is just the start, you know? So just to go back to the point, my family is very supportive of us. And again, they just want us to succeed further than what we think that we can succeed.
And I don't see you guys allowing the enemy in the camp.
That just might be me, but I don't see that happening here. Me personally, never. And like I told them, and I'll say this publicly, and I will say this on the camera, right?
Yeah.
CJ ain't going nowhere, despite anything, and they can all speak for themselves for, you know, how they feel about the group. But me personally, I'm locked. I'm stuck. You know what I mean? And the reason why I say I'm stuck and I'm locked is because, you know, Al ain't started this, but this is something that we all dreamed of doing. And this is something that we all put sweat, blood, and tears at the Forecast headquarters for years. So I'm saying this publicly right here on the Andre The Beast Crayton show.
Here live.
CJ is locked. There we go.
Because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have you answer the question too. Because I'm pretty sure some people were questioning. You know, you with Babyface now, or is this a departure? So you're telling the viewers right now you're locked.
No, for sure. And again, that's of course that I would never want that to be the main topic, right? Because God puts us in positions where the devil may try to come in and creep through and try to mess it up. But yes, there are times where that happens. There are times where people say things and people may come to me and say certain things. Yeah. But like I told him yesterday, and like I told all of them, as long as we all have that understanding between each other, and as long as we all are like this, like we say we are, man, the devil will never overthrow us. Never. So again, CJ is locked. Thank you.
Al, finish it up.
What was the question again?
Your fear. What do you fear? Because you guys have so much stuff going on. And
it was about a family.
Yeah, and your family. Yeah. Thank you for correcting me.
That's all right.
We done been all over the place for the last hour.
He threw me. It was a moment right there.
Yeah,
no, a moment for real.
I always speak highly of my father because he started this. My father is my biggest supporter when it comes to my family. I remember last year when we had performed for the Indiana Black Expo. And we performed on the stage, and I remember coming out, and I think you guys was with me, right? Mm-hmm. That man was bawling, was crying.
Really?
Yes, because it was a dream of his, you know what I'm saying, to, you know, pursue music as well. My father's a drummer and a singer, and when he seen, you know, us on stage, he had a moment, and then he got to go backstage, and he got to meet Johnny Gill. He got to meet Morris Day and the Time.
Oh, yeah.
All those guys, all those wonderful artists that Kerry White that all performed at the Indiana Black Expo. So he's my biggest supporter. My whole family, they support me, but him, Yeah, he's the one.
Guys, thank you so much for taking time out to come on the show once again and bless me. My door's always open for you guys. You know that. Make sure you listen to their music on Spotify, all where you download all your music. But more importantly, make sure you listen to the music on the I Am Beast radio station. You guys got so much going on. But before we leave, you got a new song out. Why don't you bless the audience with just a little bit of that new song, so the viewers can hear not only Forecast but get to hear Nico as well. I'll let you start it, Al. Now my voice can come in at any time, unannounced.
Take a chance.
Hook and Nico verse. Hook and Nico verse.
Are we gonna do the hook and then your verse? Hook and then my verse?
Yeah, we do the chorus
Don't
and
give him
then.
too much, man. Just give him a little bit, man.
Yeah, let's just do
Give him a
the.
little bit.
Yeah, let's just do the hook.
Just hook. How about you start and then we do the chorus.
Wait, start with my verse.
Yeah.
All right. Lady, I'll be honest. I was the type that never thought I'd fall in love, and I kept on running, leaving a trail of empty, broken hearts.
So I get why you worry about my love, babe.
But you ain't gotta worry about a thing. I'll give you love that's filled with passion, action, satisfaction guaranteed. Make you ask me about a ring. Ooh. Let's let romance take a lead. Baby, take a chance on me.
If we take a chance on this romance, the love we know can't help but grow. Making love just you and me, caught up in our own ecstasy. Baby, take a chance, take a chance. Take a chance on romance, baby. Take a chance, take a chance. Take a chance on romance.
Let me see that, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it first. This is another. Thank you so much, Forecast. This is another exciting episode. Hold down a minute. We ain't done yet. Shit, we ain't done. How can the viewers reach out to you and support you guys?
Oh man, for sure. So listen, for all booking inquiries for parties or shows or whatever the case may be, reach out to Sid Uncle Jams Johnson on Facebook. On Instagram, you can reach out to him at Uncle Jams. I think it's _ Uncle Jams. And then as well, following us on social medias, you can follow us on Instagram at the number 4 CAST _ HFM. Again, the number 4 CAST _ HFM. And then you can follow us on Facebook at the number 4 CAST, the number 4 CAST, and then you can follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at the number 4 CAST HFM. Check us out and book us. We ready to work. Let's get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, This has been another exciting episode of the Andre the Beast Crayton Show.